Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Real Results Show. If you are ready, I want you to drop the word results into the chat and we are going to send you our 3-step guide to getting real results. Welcome to the Real Results Show. This was where we feature real health coaches and health practitioners getting real results for their clients and for themselves. I am your host, Director of Course Enrollment, Piper Gibson. And this week, I have with me Chris Wilson, and we are going to be talking about arresting autoimmunity. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you so much. It's an amazing, beautiful, sunny day, blue skies, and I'm just blessed and thankful. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm great. And yeah, we were just chit-chatting about the weather before we started, and it's really nice in the southern part of the United States to have some cool days right now.
Oh yeah, here in Texas, I always know summer usually starts before the official start date of summer. So I enjoy any of these like breezy, beautiful, not so blazing hot days. And so I'm taking advantage of it by sitting out here, getting some good old natural vitamin D.
All right. So someone said they can't hear the audio, so I'm going to check it really quick just to see
Sure.
if what's going on. So in case we need to restart. So hold on one second. Let me see. No, it's good. So we are good. Karina, you might want to get off and get back on. Thanks, Jennifer. I just had to check it. I wanted to make sure. So my apologies for technical difficulties, but definitely want to make sure that you guys can hear us. So if Jennifer, type into the chat if Karina would get off and get back on, she will probably be able to hear us better. All right, Chris. So now we're going to get down to business. We're going to talk about arresting autoimmunity. So I would love to know what prompted you to become an FDN.
That is the $1 million question. So getting no answers from your allopathic medicine, that is conventional medicine. And I don't, despise these guys. They just, we've got two different perspectives and mindsets on how the body heals. And so it was my wife and her, struggles that really, that's kind of like how this journey chose me. It was through her health challenges. I don't like to say the word disease because I don't like to label people. I just look at like dysfunction as they're all challenges that we have to overcome and go through. And, it's a unique season for all of our lives. And that's kind of what inspired me was her health issues. And it was a very multifaceted approach.
So when did you take the course? How long did it take you to graduate?
I joined in August of 2019 and I graduated December 2019.
Awesome. So how are you building your business? I know you are a super busy guy, so I would love to know how you have built your practice as an FDN.
That too is $1 million question. So I want to really thank Jen Maleka. For those of you that don't know her, she's got a great course, Practitioner Business Essentials. So a little bit of shout out to her there because I went into that and that just really kind of helped me hone in on my personal story, that being my wife, and utilizing that to kind of develop, I guess, my niche, if I want to say that way, because I got a big heart. There's two things I'm passionate about. That's my Christian faith and then health and holistic health at that. And so I'm constantly researching and, my heart goes out to like helping everybody. And so she's like, you can't help everybody. If you try to help everybody, you won't get anyone. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. So, dumb down your story, really dive deep into what inspired you through your wife's health challenges and really look at what it is you focused on and what you were trying to help accomplish in your wife. And then you'll begin to see people reaching out to you because, as you're talking about her specifically, you'll be also talking about other people specifically in a non-specific manner, if that makes sense. And so that's really kind of what kickstarted it for me because I was just, I love talking. You'll probably have to shut me up from times to ask questions during this call. And so I'm not afraid to get on the camera and just chat about anything. And so that's what I was doing. I was really hitting Facebook Lives very hard and just talking about so many random different topics that I really wasn't, focusing on really any market. And that's kind of where I struggled a lot at the beginning. And it wasn't until dialing down my personal story and getting, that kind of honed in and really working on it. And I'm still always constantly going back and just making it sharper and going back in and rereading it and still going through her course and really trying to shape the people that I want to help. And I do want to help everybody, but unfortunately, you can only help those who are like ready and that are willing to want to help themselves. And that's kind of like a sad dilemma, but that's just kind of the state of what it is. And so really it's just getting yourself out there and trying to network with as many people as you can. And right before this pandemic hit, I was going around to different chiropractic offices, dropping off business cards and resumes and just asking for referrals, and was trying to make connections any way that I could. I was going to libraries and trying to do PowerPoint presentations and talks. I did a couple at my health food stores like Natural Grocers. And I didn't even have anybody show up, but the employees and the people who are shopping in the store, they kind of, whenever I would say things, they would kind of like look up, like it grabbed their attention. And so I drew some of the employees and some of the people that were shopping in there. So that was kind of cool. And plus I broadcasted it to Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree that one of the best ways that you can build your practice is to get out there and get seen and let people know who you are, for sure. So since we are talking about your wife's story, I would love to know, how has using the lab testing and the FDN approach really helped you to solve, the issues with your wife, to help your clients? How has using that FDN approach helped you?
It's been a game changer. I'll say that, because I've gone through many certifications that didn't offer the the connection with the labs, like the medical director program that we have through FDN. And going through some of these other courses, I don't want to mention names for disrespect to them or anything, because I think they had some great content, but they just didn't equip me with what it was that I needed, that FDN was able to give me. And that was learning about the body, like how everything is mental, physical, and biochemical, of everything that makes us up and everything that we interact with. And so I kind of knew about healthy eating and healthy food, but I was like, man, she's eating like an excellent diet and she's exercising. What in the why does she have weight loss resistance? And why does she have like this debilitating chronic fatigue and brain fog? And I always like to refer to it as mommy brain. She's a stay-at-home mom that homeschools her 2 children, and she just like scatterbrained everywhere. And for her, even getting up out of bed on a day, just a couple of years ago, was a huge task in of itself. She had to just force herself, because hey, I've got 2 children, I got to like feed them and help them and be there for them, and I was not working from home at the moment. I was on the road traveling a lot, and so I couldn't be here to help her. And it was just really I don't know, I don't even have words to describe what that situation was. It was just some very difficult times. And what FDN really helped connect that bridge for me was through the testing. And it was because I was able to use these advanced lab tests that were able to look at different biomarkers and show me things that were going on inside her that were hindering her healing journey. And so while these other certifications that I went through, they had good like education on the psychosocial or the psychoneuro factor of like the mental aspect or the behavioral aspect or like nutrition and stuff like that. The FDN approach, having all of that together with the diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, the whole DRESS protocol, that is really what put the bridge together for me in helping my wife with being able to identify these healing opportunities, or AKA these underlying stressors to her unique individual issues.
So where is she at now? Because I'm sure everybody's dying to know, like, what's the update? Where is she at? How's she doing?
All right, so I just got her results back from an organic acids test yesterday. And so we ran a GI map, or a comprehensive stool test, on her back in February, I think. And, before that, I was just kind of going off symptomology or symptoms. And I found that you can't really do that unless you've just been in the game for so long that you kind of are able to recognize patterns. But even then, I still don't suggest just going off of symptoms, because symptoms can be so far removed, as Reed says, from the actual causal factor of what's going on inside. And she's doing like a lot better now. Her menstrual cycle is like almost regular. Her energy is practically back. I mean, we still battle a little bit with brain fog and fatigue, And that's, I think, primarily because the only thing that really came back on her organic acids test was a possible candida overgrowth that we're dealing with. But I eradicated the H. pylori, giardia, and all of her constipation, all of her cramping, her abdominal pain, her bloating, all of that's virtually gone. We've been able to just rebuild her gut health, and it's still something that we're constantly working on. It's not like 3 months and we're done. It's more like a lifestyle. It's something that we have to live by every single day and be cognizant of what we're doing with what we're eating and what we're drinking and the type of air that we're breathing. We've got air doctors in the house with HEPA filters. We constantly open the windows to have fresh air coming in and out. And, we're just a lot more aware of, what we're doing. And we try not to get ourselves overwhelmed or stressed out about it. We really just try to control what we can, and not control and not be control freaks of the things that we can't control. That's kind of out of our arm's reach, but we try to do our best to remain in control of those little things. And my coffee cup here says, celebrate the small victories, and I try to educate not just her, but everybody that, don't take life for granted. Really celebrate the small victories and enjoy the little things that come into your life each and every day.
That's fantastic, Chris. That's really exciting news, and I'm glad that she is well on her way on the healing path. That is so awesome. We talked a little bit about Jen's course, PBE. So let's talk a little bit about the FDN community in general and how it has supported you in your business and health endeavors.
That's some names particularly. So like my FDN friends, Brendan Vermeer, Brandon Mollet, Jen, Ryan Monahan, Evan, Kimberly Ann, all of these people. I'm probably leaving some off. Brandy, you've all been like phenomenal, and Reed Davis, of course, and you, Piper. You've all been really great at just helping me whenever, not just myself, but any other FDN has questions, and especially within the AFDN-P group. Whenever we've got like just a complicated case that we're working on, it's really cool to lean on other peers that have maybe done this a lot longer and might have a little bit more experience that can offer some advice or education or just encouragement or support or, anything. It's really awesome to have that right at my fingertips through everybody and you guys. And so much appreciated for sure.
Since we talked about autoimmunity, what is your ideal client?
All right, so the title of this topic, Arresting Autoimmunity, I have such a passion for like people with digestive issues and autoimmune issues because I often see those two going hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And autoimmunity, the sad part about it is that the conventional medical system really doesn't have any answers for it. And they call it this like, weird, lifelong detrimental disease that's probably going to supply people with a lifelong use of like anti-inflammatory drugs, immunosuppressive drugs, or hormones. And they're like, there's really nothing you can do about it. And that's so not true. We find that autoimmunity in of itself is really a disease, or I don't even want to say a disease, honestly, but like your immune system at a dis-ease, it's a dysfunction. And all autoimmune diseases, no matter what they are essentially the same process occurring in the body. And that's just, a hyper-driven, overactive, inflamed immune system that's under the strain of continual triggers that mistakes healthy tissue as kind of foreign, and it begins to destroy it. And it's stress in all of its forms at the root. And so we have to go in as FDN detectives and really look at all of these hidden stressors or these continual triggers, these like splinters, and peel back the layers of the onion to help identify what's causing the immune system to constantly fire.
Very true. That reaction, that autoimmune reaction, so many people suffer from it, but it really comes from that metabolic chaos that we see in so many people. And the symptoms are just different in everybody. So, I really have to stress to my client that it's not like, oh my gosh, we're going to focus on your thyroid or we're going to focus on just your digestion. It's that whole body approach and peeling back that onion.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Tell us a little bit about how you work. Are you full-time, part-time, virtual?
I'm virtual and I'm full-time, and I just acquired a position with Dr. David Jockers, a very renowned chiropractor out of Georgia, and he hired me as his functional nutritionist. And so I work with a lot of people that come through his website, and then I also have my personal website, upstreamvitality.com, where I also have my own personal coaching business. And so Yeah, I'm 100% virtual and I work remotely, and I actually love that because I'm not like hunkered down in an office like I used to be in my old jobs, or I come out of construction too, where I drove a dump truck, and that was kind of a blessing in disguise because I got to just sit behind the wheel and haul dirt and gravel everywhere while I listened to all my training and podcasts and schools, and so that was really cool. But now I get to like do the things I love. And it's not a job if you're doing something that you absolutely love. And so it's kind of like my own personal ministry at the same time. Really get to help people and see people overcome these chronic health challenges or their issues, and just getting to hold their hand and walk them through and letting them know that everything's going to be okay and that there are answers to your problems. We just got to dig and find them and research and, you know, breathe and relax, and we can get through it.
You mentioned your website. Is there any other way that people who are watching can get in touch with you? Social media handles?
Yeah, I'm primarily active on Facebook, and I do have a YouTube channel, Upstream Vitality. I'm almost going live every day at 7 p.m. Central Time. And my Facebook, I didn't realize this, but when I went into my settings to look at the name, I guess this was when I first created it. It's to find me. I mean, you can probably type in Chris Wilson, but my Facebook handle name is at uh, Life Longevity Nutrition. I know that's kind of long. I have to go back in there and change that. But yeah, I'm pretty active on there, and I'm looking to move to Northern Georgia area. So I just started an Instagram, but I'm not really active on there yet. So that's kind of neither here nor there. So Facebook is where you can primarily find me the most.
Awesome. Do you have a number one tip, tool, resource, a piece of information that you learned from FDN that has really made all of the difference in your wife's health, in your personal health, in your health as a professional that you would like to share?
Oh man, one. The first thing that came to my mind when you said that, honestly, was test, don't guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I've spent so many years and so much time, energy, money on guessing. And oh my goodness, I can't like stress the importance of like testing. I mean, you save so much money in the long run. I know that functional medicine tests can be quite expensive, but it's well worth it. It's worth the money because you're going to save money in the long run, because you're going to get answers. You're going to find, if you have any type of health challenge at all, you will find some sort of dysfunction that you can actually, make an individualized, targeted approach. So you're not just trying every other diet out there under the sun, or this new fad supplement or fad diet that's out there. You can actually get what will work for your unique situation and get answers. So yeah, test, don't guess. I know that's silly, but that's probably like the number one thing.
Not silly at all. And, I really agree with you on the fact that it's an investment. You are investing in your health. What a better way to invest, because you only get one shot. So you might as well do it healthy, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what I try to tell people too is, don't look at, so many people put their health on the back burner. And how can you be the best version of yourself? Like you be the best wife or the best friend, the best coworker, the best husband, daughter, son, you name it, if you're not taking the time for, self-care. And I know that sounds kind of selfish, but really, if we're to like, I come from a very Christian background. So like my whole objective or theme is like serving others. And if I want to serve others, how can I do that from like an emaciated, very sick, tired, chronically fatigued or ill standpoint, and I got to make sure I take time out of my day for myself. And so, yeah, it's investing in yourself in the long run will pay off, because, you're either going to pay for it later in, medications, surgeries, or whatever, or you can just invest in yourself now with eating whole, real foods, getting out in the sunshine, walking, exercise, and then if you need to, yeah, run a test and just analyze and see where you're at and see if you need to make some course corrections or take some preventative maintenance along the way. I'm always taught that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure,
For sure. If you guys are just joining us, make sure to drop the word results into the chat. If you have any questions, make sure to let us know what they are. We would love to dig into those as well. So thank you for joining us today. And I have Chris Wilson with me. We are talking about arresting autoimmunity. So Chris, is there a piece of advice that you'd like to share with health coaches or professionals who might be watching us right now?
Yeah, so under this topic, arresting autoimmunity, I just want to say, like, we really got to do our best in terms of understanding our mental emotional stress. And this is something that I don't know if a lot of coaches focus on, is the mental aspect, because our thoughts can actually make us sick. And if we live in a pessimistic attitude, if we constantly have negative attitudes, like always looking at life as, the glass half empty type thing, that's really going to affect us in the long run. I battled years of depression, and I was kind of that pessimistic attitude guy myself. And it takes a toll on your health, whether you want to realize it or admit that or not. And, I was a major alcoholic too a long time ago, and I was always in the stage of denial. And so you have to be willing to be honest to yourself if you really want to overcome yourself. And, mental, emotional stress, stomach or GI stress, hormonal stress, toxic relationships, all of these things, you have to understand that your immune system, remember, autoimmunity is a condition of an inflamed immune system, and our immune systems are in constant flux and influenced by both our internal environments, so our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and then our external environments, so foods, our surroundings, people that we have relationships with, contact with others, and etc.
Do you have a piece of advice that you want to share with people who are struggling with their own health right now?
You're not alone, and there is hope for you. And you just have to keep digging and never give up. Find your anchor in something. Whether that's early morning walks to clear your mind, tell yourself positive things, that you are healthy. Declare these things over yourself and over your life, and take control of your mindset and begin to rewire it every day by just little 5 or 10 minute exercises. Practice deep breathing. And I know these things sound silly, but they will help get you out of a state of that fight or flight, kind of feeling antsy or anxious mode, and will promote, rest and healing, and, just stay strong, and, find someone that understands you. You live in your own shoes. So the doctor with the alphabet soup behind his name that wants to push medications probably isn't the best fit behind you. Get someone who will listen to you and understand what you're going through, because they're out there. You just got to look.
That is fantastic, fantastic, solid advice. Chris, thank you so much for coming on today. One more time, can you share with everybody how they can find you?
My website, upstreamvitality.com, and you can hit me up on my email, upstreamvitality@gmail.com. Super simple, and you can find me on Facebook.
Okay, someone asked for your phone number. Do you want to share that on Facebook, or would you like to pass that on privately?
Email me first. I don't want to put my phone number out there on public blast. So email me, and we can connect that way, okay?
Yeah, for sure. All right. So thank you again for joining me, Chris. That was a great inspirational message and journey that you had to share with everybody today. Again, if you guys are just joining us watching the replay, drop the words results into the chat. We are going to send you FDN's 3-step guide to getting real results. If you are ready to take the leap and become an FDN practitioner, just like Chris or myself, go to functionaldiagnosticnutrition.com/counselor, and you can schedule a call with one of the FDN course counselors, myself, Jess, or Kelly, and we would love to connect with you and share information about the course that can absolutely be life-changing. So thank you guys for joining us. We will be back, or I will be back, same time next week. So thank you again, Chris, for joining me.
Hey, you're very welcome, and remember, the power to heal is yours.
Yes, fantastic point. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.